see any polar bear, we want to get back to the zodiac slowly. Okay?
Well, you never know where Team Detour is going to turn up next. Here we are in Nuuk, which is on the west coast of Greenland, and we're taking a cruise. We're out of the truck and we're looking forward to a trip through the Northwest Passage. We're on our way to Nome, and stick with us and we'll see what we can find and what we can see on this incredible journey that we're embarking on. So stay with us.
All of this water that's coming down from here is coming from the glacier that we have on top. Right now we are about 1,000 feet from the glacier front. What will cause a glacier to start moving more is either high temperatures or rain. Because when you have precipitation rain coming down, it will find its way down underneath the glacier and basically help lubricate it so it goes faster.
Oh, here comes the tsunami.
Well, a little bit of an update on what we're doing with the cruise up through the west coast of Greenland at present. We came into Disco Bay early this morning, with the intentions of going through to Ilestat. It's a rather important little village up on the mid-west coast of Greenland, and unfortunately we couldn't get through. We ended up with an almost impenetrable layer of mist and icebergs. The ship itself is quite easy coping with brash ice, but icebergs the size of small cities, even an icebreaker doesn't want to take something like that on.
Hi, Heather.
Hi, Heather.
I'm from Norway/Svalbard, and it's Hedda. Hedda.
Ah,
Yes, very good.
well, I'm Heather. from
You're
Scotland.
Heather.
Anything particularly unique about that iceberg?
Well, I think, first of all icebergs are unique, right?
Yeah.
None looks the same. What we see here very clearly is these stripes.
Yes.
So that is where the level, the meet where the ocean surface has been for a long time before it might have rolled a little bit.
We're just waiting for our call to head down to the mud room so we can get onto the Zodiac, heading out to Pond Inlet, a little community. It's about 1,500 strong, predominantly Inuit. We're going out there to have a look around the little community. Then we've been invited to the entertainment centre. I dare say give us a bit of an insight as to what happens there at Pond Inlet. It's outside, a little bit nippy, about -1. At least today, the wind has settled down. It's just a gentle breeze, whereas yesterday it was blowing a gale. So we're actually able to get off the ship today. Yesterday was anything but welcoming. Stunning scenery. One you've really got to see to appreciate. Cameras will not do it justice. All good to go.
Action!
Thank you.
So hip hip! Hooray! One more time, hip hip! Hooray! That's the energy, right?
We're going to be here when we get back. Right?
Welcome to Mitamitalik Pond Inlet, lovely community, and we'll go exploring it through the eyes of a local guide with one of our team members. Will be tagging along, and they'll be providing a little bit of context and story of life here in Pond Inlet.
Welcome to Devon Island, Dundas Harbor. Dundas Harbor is the actual start of the Northwest Passage. So we've got an amazing scene out here with the dusting of the snow over the island, and it's just breathtaking. The cameras never do it justice. We're actually on bear watch at present. Polar bear, that is. So the expedition team are out there looking out for polar bear. At present we haven't seen one, and also looking for narwhal. So we're having a good look around. Yesterday Heather and I managed to see a sperm whale in the channel where we were coming out from Pond Inlet, and it is highly unusual to see sperm whales in that channel area. Normally they're out in much deeper water out along the coastline, and it was so unusual that the expedition team are going to report that sighting to all the different authorities and the government agencies, because it is such a rarity. So we were pretty fortunate. There was only about a dozen people on board the ship that got to see it. So we were pretty excited with that. They're just spectacular, absolutely spectacular.
I'm just looking out over here, seeing the first zodiacs going over to Devon Island. That's where we'll be headed. It's 0 degrees Celsius at the moment, so it's pretty chilly. It's going to be quite a challenging walk, I think, but we're hoping to see polar bears, so we'll just see how we go. But I'm very excited to be hitting the zodiacs again and heading out onto Devon Island. Oh, we've just been called now, so we're heading off down to the mudroom and in preparation to get onto the zodiacs. So it'll be interesting to see what we find out there. Let's go.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Dundas Harbor. It's a lovely spot, and you'll be exploring it with Hedda. You'll be keeping your life jackets on today, as we are in polar bear country. We want to be able to retire to the Zodiac efficiently and quickly with a minimum of fuss should a bear make itself known. There are actually plenty of polar bear prints in the ground here, and Hedda will show you some of them. They're probably about a day and a half or 2 days old, but very clearly visible. So there are critters about, just not where we are right now. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. So you'll be heading out with Hedda. You must stay together with Hedda as a group. This is quite important. She is your safety. She's got a radio, and if anything were to be spotted while we are here, she'll be able to provide guidance and instruction on how to get back to where you need to be to return to the ship. Sound good?
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, As we enjoy our walk in the terrain here, we will do some stops here and there to look at interesting things and enjoy the view and take in the scenery overall. Some very important things: we are in prime polar bear terrain, so please always stay close to me. I ask you to be no more than 20 meters away from me at any point in time, and no one walks in front of me. I welcome you to walk to the side of me, but please never walk in front of me, because I'm the one with the big gun.
How's everybody's walk? Hedda teach you everything? Good. There's an exam at the mud room. If we don't all get 90%, no food for anyone.
Good for a few days.
Very good, very informative. Very cold. Quite interesting. Stunning, stunning scenery. Amazing. We've just come across our first polar bear sighting, and unfortunately the camera won't pick it up. It's off over to the bank. It just looks like a little white spot on the bank. But we have to maintain a 600 metre exclusion zone to keep away from the wildlife. It's very, very spectacular. We just saw the results of having exceptionally good lenses on your camera to get a full-blown image of this bear. And that's what you come here for, is to be able to see these. Obviously, having the right equipment makes a big difference to having the binoculars. It goes a long way to be able to spot them. We're still cruising, looking for more bears. We found one. There's lots and lots of territory around here, but most of it, it's almost vertical coming out of the water. But across the top, everyone's sort of looking out there with binoculars and telescopes and God knows what else, looking for the bears. But right at present, it's just trying to snow, the tiniest little snowflakes. So, needless to say, it's bloody cold, but it's beautiful all the same.
Well, we're rugged up because it's -3 degrees outside, and behind us is Beachley Island, which is on the southwest coast of Devon Island, and it's separated by a small narrow body of water called the Barrow Straits. It's a place of national historical significance because the ill-fated crew of the Franklin expedition of 1845 stopped here, and it wasn't until a few years later, 1850, that they disappeared completely. So there's a lot of historical significance here. They actually have uncovered 3 mummified bodies of 3 of the sailors, and that gave them a bit of a clue as to the health of the crew at the time. So come along with us as we hit the water. Well, figuratively speaking, as we venture out in the zodiacs on this beautiful chilly afternoon. So it should be a lot of fun. So come along with us. We're going to have fun.
Do you want to go to the very end?
I think for now we're okay.
Okay.
But the Franklin expedition is the most famous. And then you can ask yourself the question, why is it so famous? Because if you just look at it piece by piece, it's basically British Navy went out with 2 ships and everybody died. That's like the long and short of it. But there's a little bit.
That's quite short.
Yeah, exactly. And now we go back on board. But you have to remember that the story takes place in a context, right? You have to put it in historical context. for the Navy to send out the Erebus and the Terror, which were the two ships that came out with Franklin. These were like the most modern ships you could have for the time. It was this power move from England to show what the British Navy could do, and sending out their best men. And you can argue whether or not Franklin was the best man to send out as a commander, because he had done other expeditions before that were not so successful. Basically what happened was that they went out and they left Greenland, actually from Disco Bay. I don't know if you remember there where we were in Kronprinsens Islands. That's where the last jump off was, and then they came into this area here, and they were last seen by European whalers, and then after that they just basically dropped off the face of the earth. Nobody knew where they had gone, and it would take up until the 1850s, so 5 years later, before they came to this place and found the remains of their camp. So what had happened, for them, the first winter they spent here in this bay, and you can see that it is quite protected, not necessarily from the wind, but definitely from the waves. So this was a good place to freeze in your ships and spend the winter. So when we say that they overwintered here, I feel like the first thing that comes to mind is that a whole bunch of people setting up a bunch of tents along the shoreline, and that's not really what happened. It's just they stayed on the ships, but they had a secure place to keep the vessels. And then after that, the ships, they went out of the next summer. They went out of here and started going south, and then had to spend 2 more winters. And it was during the second winter that Franklin himself died, and then all of the men died afterwards. And you'll notice that I'm kind of vague in everything that I'm saying right now, because we don't know the full story. So there's a big mystery surrounding this. Garry said it does look like sandstone.
Just trying to get suited up, ready to go out and kayak. Got to put on the dry suit. Yeah, we're lucky enough there this morning while we're having breakfast that we sighted a polar bear with 2 cubs in tow, swimming out. They're probably a mile from shore, thereabouts, and the polar bear, the mother bear, had the 2 little ones there in tow and constantly checking back on them. That was interesting. On shore we've seen, or the crew have seen, several bears, so there's no landing now. We're not allowed to go out on the shore. So it'll be Zodiac runs and kayaks, and they're not overly concerned about the polar bears in the water while we're in the kayaks. So I guess they've got to get their protein from somewhere. Hopefully it's not us. It'll be interesting. It'll be adventurous. It'll be cold. Hopefully not wet. Come on out with us. See how we get on. We'll see how many return from the kayaking expedition.
We did Thanksgiving. That's the same thing where the paddle is.
So if we see any polar bear, we want to get back to the Zodiac slowly. Yeah?
They are not going to hunt us, these polar bears. So to stay away from them is mostly to not disturb them for two reasons. We don't want to disturb the bear for the bear itself, but it's only really when we disturb the bear that we can make a mess and make them kind of provoked and go for us. So if we don't provoke the bear, we wouldn't have any reason at all to approach us.
Welcome to Joe Haven.
Well, we woke up this morning in Amundsen Gulf, and this is what we found when we came out onto the balcony. Absolutely spectacular. We're going up on deck now and hope to find some wildlife floating along on some of these ice floes. It's about 4 degrees this morning, so not too bad, pretty balmy. So let's see what we can find. Any polar bears, Garry?
No polar bears yet. It's too cold. I can see this being an ideal spot to do the polar plunge. We're throwing ourselves into the icy waters of the Arctic. We figured that doing it once in Antarctica wasn't sufficient, so we're going to do it again, and this time in the Arctic. Now, apparently, legend has it that if you do it in the South Pole and the North Pole, you're confirmed bipolar. I don't know about that. We will see. We will see. I think it'd be certifiably mad. I know we got a certificate in Antarctica that said we were insane. Chance are we'll get a second certificate to confirm our insanity. But we're all rugged up for after the event, but they've assured us that there's hot chocolate available afterwards. So what else can you do? The things you do for a hot chocolate. Things you do.
3, 2, 1, jump! It was cold for the other one. It's supposed to be cold.
You guys are enjoying this a bit too much.
I am a biologist, not a geologist. You should know this from my recaps. My ship's cruise all the way along the peninsula, so I'll get opportunities to see it a little bit closer to shore and also from the top decks. And we'll see what the better views are going to be. Obviously, I want us to be close in there, but then we can't look up so easily. But we'll see what we get. There's a couple of bits of wildlife being spotted around, so we'll see if we can find something of interest in regards to that as well. Of particular interests, because you've got these yellows being formed. It has a lot of sulfur in it. Iron pyrites formed from primarily iron, phosphorus and sulfate. And so with the jarosite, this is that oxidized iron pyrite, giving the yellows, giving the reds. And what I think is interesting about it is you have a lot of it on Mars as well. But that jarosite that here is ambiguous with very, very acidic environments. This really acidic environment, and I'm talking about up to negative 1.2 pH. We think of pH going from 0 and up, 0 to 7, I believe. 0 to 7? Yeah, 0 to 7. Here they've recorded negative 1.2, which doesn't even compute in my head. It doesn't make sense. And this is a result of that oxidization of the pyrite, but this is happening after the fact of all these sediments, all these rocks actually being laid down. So perhaps all of that jarosite that is found on Mars happened after the life died out. And so maybe the conditions on Mars might not have been acidic at the time that life possibly existed. So studies here have shown that all these thoughts about it being too acidic for life to exist might be wrong. It might just be oxidization of iron pyrite. Oh, it's early in the morning this morning. Iron pyrite, just like here on the Smoking Hills. So you wouldn't think that up here in Canada could tell us much about Mars, but actually it is. It's telling us a lot. We have this weird interaction where you have all of this danger, essentially, all of this really harsh, horrible environment. Yes, you've got beautiful tundra here, but maybe you saw where a little bit of water was running down from the mountains. It's black. It looks pretty dead, pretty lifeless. But in the water, it is full of life. Right here, where you get an interaction of all that acid, essentially, then shell life is not doing so well. But further out to the ocean, you've got a lot of currents coming around here and a lot of upwelling. So a lot of water moving from the deep up to the surface, bringing with it a lot of nitrogen, a lot of phosphate, stuff like that, which creates food for the primary producers, all that phytoplankton. So actually the water is super green, it's stuffed with food. Not for us, you can take a mouthful if you want, I would not recommend it. You need help?
Hot chocolate, what do you like?
Oh, hot chocolate. Oh, no way.
I said I feel a hot
Oh, this is
Hey, welcome to the hotel boats. I might have known the existence.
Champagne.
Do you want champagne? Champagne? There's hot chocolate if you don't want champagne.
Thank you.
Three cheers for the bar crew. Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray!
Northwest Passage.
Welcome to Point Hope, Alaska. This is our last little onshore activity. We'll have a bit of a wander around town, check and see how the other half live. Lucky enough today it's not freezing cold. It's about 7 degrees C, light wind. But the thing that we're noticing right at present, the sun's just up here and it's a little bit after 10 o'clock AM. So we're moving into the northern winters where it's just dark.
Jawbones of the bowhead whale. And there's all different sizes, as you can see. We've caught all different size whales.
When they sew it, it's all wet, so it's all soft. And then we stretch it onto the frame.
So you wet it again, and then
Yeah. They sew both sides. So this here, there's a layer. A layer like this, so they sew one layer on this side, and then they flip the skin over, they sew the other layer.
And you said this is only 6?
Yeah, 6 skins right here.
I grab it like this on the side of the boat, and I'll throw it my hardest right into the whale.
We've made it to Nome, Alaska. So from here, jump on the big silver bird, and then we start the journey home. We hope that you've enjoyed our adventures through Northwest Territories, through Canada, through Alaska, and follow us to wherever Team Detour takes you next.
Thanks for coming along with us and enjoying this incredible journey through the Northwest Passage. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure you like and subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment. Until next time. Bye.